own husband in your life. Y'all got all your hoes got going on.
You ain't gotta try to blast me. I know my type.
Bill, what do you mean by saying Yandy has a lot going on in her marriage? What have you heard?
I mean, do you follow the shade room? Scroll down there, you'll find it all out right there in the shade room. They up to date about that man in them hotels and all his girls.
But you just gonna let your husband somebody else?
You told me.
Why am I? Don't. First of all, you be everybody in Atlanta and everybody knows you.
You're not going to talk to him like that.
But I am. And what are you gonna do to us? And what are you gonna do?
You're not going to talk to him. Don't play with me. What am I doing with him?
Just when everyone thought Yandy and Mendeecees had finally figured it out, boom! Erica Racine enters the chat. And this time, she's not staying quiet. Because after rumors started swirling that Mendeecees circled back to Erica, social media went into full meltdown mode. But what really turned this into headline drama wasn't the rumor itself. It was Erica's response. The tone, the timing, the energy. And now people are asking, is this history repeating itself? Or is something bigger happening behind the scenes? Yandy has always presented strength and loyalty publicly, but when old flames resurface, the internet doesn't forget. And if Mendeecees really reconnected with Erica, even casually, that opens up a whole new layer of tension. Screenshots, subtle posts, cryptic captions, the breadcrumbs are everywhere. So what exactly did Erica say? Why are fans calling it a soft launch of chaos? And is Yandy about to respond? Or is she letting silence speak? Let's break down everything, because this triangle just got complicated again. Yandy Smith and Mendeecees Harris have one of the most talked about relationships in reality TV history. Their love story has survived prison time, baby mama drama, public arguments, and endless scrutiny. Yandy has consistently stood by Mendeecees, financially, emotionally, publicly. She held it down while he was incarcerated. She defended him when critics questioned their relationship. She presented herself as the loyal wife who weathered every storm. But the storm has always had a name. And one of those names is Erica Racine. Was Erica and Mendeecees share history that predates certain chapters of his relationship with Yandy. There were timelines that fans debated. There were overlapping narratives. There were questions about who knew what and when. And reality TV only amplified it. Once cameras get involved, every emotion becomes public property. Over the years, Erica has spoken out at different times, sometimes directly, sometimes subtly. And every time she does, the internet connects it back to Yandy. Because here's the thing. When a man has unresolved history with multiple women, that history never fully disappears. It just goes quiet until it doesn't. Fast forward to now. Rumors start circulating that Mendeecees may have reconnected with Erica in some way. Whether that means a conversation, a visit, or something deeper, that part isn't confirmed. But perception moves faster than facts. And when Erica finally responded publicly, it didn't feel random. It felt timed. It felt intentional. And that's why people are watching closely. Because this isn't just gossip. This is a triangle with history. And history always resurfaces when old feelings get stirred up. The rumors alone would have been enough to get blogs buzzing. But it wasn't the whispers that set everything off. It was Erica Racine's response. Because instead of ignoring the chatter, which would have let it die down, she leaned into it just enough to make people pause. No direct names, no outright confirmations. But the tone? Confident. Calm. Almost. Unbothered. And that's what made it loud. When someone who's been previously labeled the other woman speaks without defensiveness, it changes the dynamic. Instead of sounding reactive, she sounded secure. And fans immediately started reading between the lines. Was she implying Mendeecees reached back out? Was she hinting that doors were never fully closed? Or was she simply tired of being blamed for a man's decisions? Because that's the underlying tension here. Yandy has always positioned herself as the loyal one, the wife, the ride or die, the woman who stood firm through incarceration and controversy. Her public narrative is strength and endurance, so when Erica speaks in a way that suggests she's not chasing, not pressed, not begging for relevance, it disrupts that narrative. And the internet noticed. Comments flooded in. Why does she sound so calm? That's not the energy of someone lying. Yandy better say something. But here's where it gets complicated. There's a difference between responding and confirming. Erica never outright said, "He's back with me." She didn't post pictures. She didn't drop receipts. She spoke in that gray area. And the gray area is dangerous because it leaves room for imagination. Meanwhile, Yandy stayed quiet. And silence, in situations like this, becomes its own statement. Some fans interpret silence as class. Others interpret it as strategy. And a few interpret it as someone calculating their next move. The real tension isn't even about whether Mendeecees physically came back. It's about emotional positioning. If a man even appears accessible to his past, that shakes the foundation of the present. And if Erica's energy suggests she's not closed off to him, that makes it messier. Because now it's not just about cheating rumors, it's about unfinished business. And when there's history involved, unfinished business has a way of reopening doors that people thought were sealed. The moment Erica spoke, the blogs clipped it. Within hours, the shade rooms, fan pages, and reaction channels were reposting snippets with captions like, "Erica not playing this time. Is Mendeecees back outside? Yandy about to crash out?" And that's when the pressure shifted. Because it wasn't just about what Erica said. It was about how people interpreted it. Fans started digging. Old photos resurfaced. Timeline debates restarted. Past interviews were reanalyzed. And even body language from previous reunion episodes got dissected. That's how layered this situation is. When there's history, nothing disappears. It just waits to be re-examined. Some viewers pointed out that Erica's tone felt empowered. Not bitter, not emotional, not defensive. That alone made people speculate that she felt secure in whatever the current situation actually is. Others said it might simply be maturity. Maybe she's grown. Maybe she's not interested in the drama and just refuses to be villainized anymore. But then came the subtle social media behavior. Cryptic captions, strategic likes, unfollow rumors, posts about knowing your worth, posts about peace. Now, none of those things confirm anything. But in celebrity culture, timing is everything. And when certain posts go up right after a rumor starts trending, people connect dots. Meanwhile, Yandy's silence started getting louder. Because Yandy is not new to public response. She's vocal when she wants to be. She defends her family when she feels it's necessary. So fans began asking, why is she not addressing this? Is she unbothered? Is she confident nothing is happening? Or is she choosing not to give Erica the attention? Silence can be powerful, but silence can also look like tension. And then there's Mendeecees. Notice something? He hasn't said much either. And when the man at the center of the storm doesn't clarify anything, it leaves both women to fight perception. That's where things get tricky. Because if he did reconnect with Erica in any capacity, even casually, it puts Yandy in a position she's been in before, defending a man's loyalty. And if he didn't, then Erica's tone becomes a completely different type of power move. Either way, ego is involved now. This isn't just about romance. It's about who looks chosen, who looks secure, who looks pressed, who looks replaceable. And in reality, TV culture, image matters almost as much as truth. The longer this goes without clarification, the more the internet fills in the blanks. And when the internet fills in blanks, they rarely fill them kindly. This situation isn't just messy because of rumors. It's messy because of history. Yandy and Mendeecees' relationship has already been tested publicly more times than most couples experience privately. Prison time, baby mother tension, timeline debates, reunion show confrontations. Through all of that, Yandy consistently positioned herself as the one who stayed. She stayed when it was hard. She stayed when it was embarrassing. She stayed when people questioned her judgment. So when Erica's name re-enters the picture, even in rumor form, it hits differently. Because it reopens old wounds that were supposedly healed. Fans are divided. Some say Yandy knew what she signed up for. Others say, at what point do you stop holding a man down who keeps creating situations? And then there's Erica. For years, she's been painted as the outsider in this narrative. The past, the disruption, the woman who complicated the timeline. So when she speaks calmly and confidently now, it almost feels like a role reversal. Instead of chasing, she looks composed. Instead of defending, she looks detached. That shift alone changes how people see her. And the emotional stakes aren't small. Because for Yandy, this isn't just a relationship rumor. It's brand image. She has built a public identity around loyalty and strength. If this situation suggests instability again, it challenges that image. For Erica, it's about narrative correction. She doesn't want to be seen as someone clinging to a man who chose someone else. So her tone matters. Her composure matters. And for Mendeecees, his silence leaves both women managing perception on their own. That's the part people often ignore. When a man doesn't clarify his position, it creates emotional competition, even if neither woman intended it. Now, the public fallout is bigger than just, did he or didn't he? It's about, is this a cycle? Is this unfinished business? Is this ego-driven? Or is this simply internet exaggeration? The more people talk, the more pressure builds. And when pressure builds, someone usually breaks the silence. The real question is, who's going to speak next? Because if receipts come out, this escalates. If nobody clarifies anything, speculation keeps growing. And if this is just smoke with no fire, then it still leaves a mark. Because once doubt enters public perception, it never fully disappears. Here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. This might not even be about love anymore. It might be about leverage. Think about it. When history keeps resurfacing, when names keep circling back, when silence feels calculated, sometimes the real power isn't in who someone chooses. It's in who looks chosen. Erica speaking calmly shifts perception. Yandy staying silent shifts perception. Mendeecees saying nothing shifts perception. And perception is currency in reality TV culture. The real twist is this. If Mendeecees truly came back in any capacity, even casually, then the narrative that everything was settled was never real. But if he didn't, then Erica's timing becomes incredibly strategic, because just mentioning energy without confirmation creates chaos without accountability. And that's powerful. The internet doesn't need receipts to run with a story. It just needs possibility. Now imagine this scenario. If Yandy comes out publicly defending her marriage, critics will say she's overcompensating. If she ignores it completely, critics will say she's embarrassed. If Erica drops receipts, everything shifts. If she stays vague, she keeps control of the mystery. And Mendeecees? The longer he stays silent, the more both women's reputations hang in the air. That's the cliffhanger. Because this isn't just about who he's texting, it's about who controls the narrative. Is Erica reclaiming her voice? Is Yandy protecting her peace? Or is this simply another example of a man benefiting from women competing for clarity? Until someone shows proof, everything remains speculation. But speculation alone can shake foundations. And if history tells us anything, this triangle has never really stayed quiet for long. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Erica's response was confidence or calculated timing? Do you believe Mendeecees really circled back? Or is the internet just doing what it does best and filling in blanks? And what about Yandy's silence? Is that strength? Is that strategy? Or is that someone choosing not to play into the noise? Because at the end of the day, we don't have confirmed receipts, just reactions, history, and perception. And perception can be louder than proof. Drop your thoughts in the comments, but keep it real. Do you think this is history repeating itself? Or do you think this is just old drama being recycled for clicks? And if you were in Yandy's position, would you respond publicly or stay silent and let it fade? Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn notifications on if you want more deep breakdowns of what's really happening behind these headline moments. Because in reality, TV culture, the story doesn't end when the clip stops trending. Sometimes, it's just getting started.